You ever walk into a gun shop in 2025 and feel like everything's hyped, overpriced, or made for people who never shoot past 5 yards? Trust me, I've been there. Half of these 9mm pistols just look good in pictures, but on the range, rattle like a tin can, or worse, jam when it counts. So I said, screw the marketing. I've spent the last 6 months hunting down every pistol that I could, testing, borrowing, and flat out regretting more guns than I'd like to admit, just to answer one question. Which 9mm Luger pistols are actually worth buying in 2025? Not influencer favorites, not the ones that are trending. I'm talking about the real survivors, the ones that still run dirty, still hit center mass under pressure, still feels like a damn weapon in your hand. Let's see which ones made the cut and which one you might have already missed. Most people shopping for a 9mm in 2025 still don't know this gun exists, and that's the problem. Because if you're putting money down this year, the PX4 Storm needs to be on your short list, period. It's one of the most overlooked buyer picks, not because it's bad, but because Beretta barely markets it. What you actually get is a battle-proven handgun used by military and police worldwide with a rotating barrel system that reduces recoil like nothing else in this class. You're not buying gimmicks here, you're getting accuracy, durability, and that old-school Beretta feel that's become rare in 2025. Trainers and range officers I know are quietly recommending this to shooters who've grown tired of striker-fired triggers and want something different but still deadly reliable. If this pistol was branded differently or launched today with a red dot plate and TikTok hype, everyone would be fighting to get one. Instead, it's quietly outperforming newer releases and making Glock loyalists rethink everything. Next one's gonna sting a bit more. Now listen, if you're walking into 2025 looking for a 9mm that's built like a tank but tuned like a sports car, this baby is it. The P320 Legion isn't just another striker-fired pistol, it's what happens when SIG throws the kitchen sink at their most trusted platform. And let's be clear, this is no beginner's gun. The full-size TXG frame adds real weight, not for show, but for control. Less muzzle flip, faster follow-ups, and one of the flattest shooting 9mm Lugers you'll ever run. You get suppressor height X-ray sights, an optics-ready slide, a skeletonized flat trigger, and internals that actually feel custom. This is not hype. It's literally being used by competition shooters, tactical trainers, and even off-duty officers who want their carry gun to double as a range beast. It's expensive, yeah, but it performs like it's in a whole different league. And that's why, even in 2025, people are still buying this over newer guns because nothing quite replaces the Legion's feel once you shoot it. And if you think this was intense, number 10's gonna be way more controversial. Alright now, let me say this straight. I wouldn't blame you if you skipped past this one, because I almost did. The Taurus G2C shouldn't even be on this list, but it is. Why, you ask? Well, because it just won't stop selling. Not in 2023, not in 2024, and somehow, here in 2025, it's still one of the most bought 9mm pistols in the country. Is it flawless? Hell no. Is it flashy? Not even close. But it's under $250 in most shops, it feeds anything you put through it, and for the guy who just needs a gun that goes bang and doesn't care about aesthetics, this thing delivers. It's not smooth, the recoil's a bit snappy, and yeah, the trigger's got that plastic crunch to it, but it runs. Thousands of G2Cs in glove boxes, tool chests, hip holsters, all still kicking. People trust it because it's been beat to hell and still cycles regardless. This ain't about fanboy hype, it's about reality. The G2C isn't just popular, it's proof that reliability doesn't need to cost $800. Hey, be cautious, this shit isn't built for kids. It's built for control, dominance in the gun world. If your idea of a 9mm is something featherweight, plastic, and optic ready, you're gonna hate this one, and that's exactly why I love it. The CZ75 SP01 is built like a damn tank, weighs like one too, and still wipes the floor with half the polymer crowd when it comes to control. This ain't your Instagram range toy. It's a full metal, full grip, full intent pistol. The kind that stays glued to your hand even when you're ripping through rounds like it owes you money. It's railed, hammer-fired, steel-frame power, and it doesn't care about trends. The grip angle, locked in. The slide and frame design, still unmatched. The recoil, mild like a 22 because all that weight works for you, not against you. And yeah, maybe it's not the cool kid on the shelf anymore, but real shooters, the ones who know what control actually means, they don't forget this one. It's one of the only 9mm Lugers where you pull the trigger and feel zero regret. You want flashy? Move along. But if you're looking for planted shoots and raw performance, SP01's got no time for excuses. Let's just say it straight. This is the most disrespected 9mm pistol in the entire damn market. People look at the name Canic and instantly treat it like it's some knockoff junk from a discount bin. Meanwhile, the TP9 SFX is out shooting guns twice its price, and half of you still won't touch it. Why? Ego, brand loyalty. You want a badge on your slide, not performance in your hand. The truth? This thing embarrasses so-called premium pistols at the range. It doesn't just keep up, it crushes them. But the gun snobs, they'll never admit it. They'd rather pay $900 for the plastic logo than shoot better for $400. This isn't a beginner's fluke gun. It's the kind of pistol you only appreciate once you stop caring what other people think. So go ahead, skip it, stay in your bubble, but if you actually want to shoot smarter, hit harder, and prove the point without a brand tag doing the talking, this one's been waiting. Next up, the pistol that quietly clawed its way into serious carry rotations and you probably never gave it a shot, literally. Most overlooked 9mm pistols that deserve a spot in your safe. Let's be clear here. No one's hyping the car CW9 or Ruger RXM in 2025, but that's a mistake. These aren't headline grabbers, they're silent survivors, and in a buyer's guide, you'd be insane to skip them. The CW9 is a classic carry pistol, lightweight, single stack, and ridiculously slim. You don't buy this to impress your friends, you buy it because you want a gun that disappears in the waistband, eats 9mm without hiccups, and costs less than your monthly ammo bill. It's the kind of gun that's been protecting people long before influencers had opinions. Then comes the RXM, Ruger's underdog. It flies so low under the radar, most folks don't even know it exists, but it packs micro-compact capacity, shootability, and a price that makes every Glock look overpriced. It's functional, tough, and stupidly practical. Forget the flash. In a real 2025 buyer's guide, these two deserve space, especially if you want something that works without becoming a financial regret. The pistol that walked through hell and came back smiling. This one's not trendy. You won't see it on TikTok, and your cousin's Glock group chat probably never mentions it. But the HK USP 9mm, this is the gun that real shooters whisper about when things get serious. You know what separates a tool from a toy? Pressure. The USP's been dragged through mud, dropped on concrete, left baking in a truck in Texas heat, and still fires like nothing ever happened. Ask any cop who carried one back in the day. Hell, I knew a guy who ran 10,000 rounds through his USP without cleaning it just to prove a point. Didn't jam even once, and slide barely felt it. This isn't your first pistol, this is your last pistol. You pick this when you're done screwing around with striker-fired plastic and want something that feels like it could stop a truck or at least a guy trying to carjack you with a kitchen knife. It's not flashy, not modern, but it's the one 9mm Luger that says, "Go ahead, try me." Up next, an Italian icon that refuses to die. They'll tell you it's boring, too common, too safe. But since when did boring become a problem when you actually need the damn thing to fire? This old school workhorse is still what people trust their lives with, not because it looks cool, but because it just works. Doesn't care what 9mm Luger ammo you throw at it, doesn't cry in the dirt, doesn't jam when it matters. It just shows up, takes the hit, and keeps punching every time. You think legend means flashy or new? Nah. It means consistent. It means every major instructor, every backroom comp, every seasoned carry guy still nods when they see this one on your hip. That's not nostalgia. That's respect earned over decades. Forget the hype. Just stick to what's proven. But if you really want something new, wait till you see what's next. This one's got people switching sides. You still shoot that old cop gun? Damn right I do. And you know what? It's never failed me. Never jammed, never flinched, and sure as hell never needed a gimmick to stay relevant. People like the act that the 92 FS is some relic from the 90s, but walk into any range today and someone's still punching holes with one. We can't call this nostalgia. It's because this 9mm still shoots flatter, cleaner, and feels more controllable than half the striker-fired plastic popping up every year. Steel frame, full-size slide, that long sight radius makes it feel like you're cheating. Yes, it's big. Yes, it's heavy, but that's the point. It was designed for war, and it survived decades in war. Police, military, civilians, they all trust it. You want bold? Go look elsewhere. But if you want something that just works and makes you look like you know what the hell you're doing, pick up a 92 FS. Because when the flashy stuff breaks, this old dog still got teeth. There's no point dancing around it. If you're hunting for the one 9mm Luger pistol that actually lives up to the hype in 2025, this baby's it. Not because it's new, oh no. Not because it's trendy, yeah right. But because it's been quietly dominating the carry world while others keep trying to play catch up. The P365 XL isn't trying to be a jack of all trades. It's built like it knows what kind of shooter you are. Someone who demands compact power without giving up control. Chambered in 9mm Luger, it hits that perfect velocity sweet spot out of a longer slide than the original, yet it still disappears inside a waistband like a subcompact. You don't buy this just to test it, you buy it because you're tired of compromise. And if you're watching this list to figure out which pistol to actually carry, not just own, this is where you stop scrolling. Unless, of course, you're the kind of person who prefers what they're not telling you, and that's what's coming next. They laughed when Walther tried to challenge the big names, and now they're dead silent. Because this 9mm, it doesn't beg for your approval, it earns it through performance that shuts the critics up. The PDP isn't for everyone. Too aggressive, too snappy for soft hands, and not built for your Instagram flex. But if you know what a flat shooting 9mm should feel like, this thing will ruin every other striker-fired pistol for you. That trigger, crisp enough to embarrass your custom build. That grip, engineered like Walther actually cared about your hand and not just some polymer mold. It's not trying to be legendary, it just is. Whether you're running drills or staking your safety on it, this is the kind of 9mm that stays when the gimmicks fade. And we're only at number 3. The next one, that's where trust gets weaponized. I knew an ex-military guy who worked nightlife over a decade. Big cities, back alleys, fights that didn't wait for cops. He ran everything from revolvers to compact glocks, But the one that never left his side after 21, a scratched up IWI Masada Tactical. Not because it looked mean, not because it was Israeli made, but because one night at 3 a.m., loading dock behind some warehouse club, the thing saved him when it shouldn't have. He got jumped, cornered, one-handed draw from under his jacket while his left arm was locked. 2 rounds, clean. One jam would have meant lights out, but the Masada didn't jam. Not with soaked mags, not with junk ammo, not with blood on the damn slide. He never called it tactical, he just called it his, and he never switched again. You think that story's made up? Maybe, but that doesn't change the fact. This 9mm Luger doesn't flinch when others choke. And the last one, it's not about brand, it's about trust built in silence. Ready for it? Here we go. Some call it the sleeper hit of the 9mm Luger scene. We call it the pistol that finally cracked the code. Because what CZ did here, it's not about copying Glock or shadowboxing SIG. It's about fixing what others won't admit is broken. The P10S isn't flashy, but it's built like a damn tool. Feeds every kind of 9mm Luger ammo you toss in, shrugs off weather, drops, dirt, and still hits center. While others play dress up with slight cuts and silly upgrades, this thing just works. Grip angle, reset, weight, all tuned like someone actually asked a real shooter for once. And it's catching on. Trainers, carriers, even some old school Glock riders are quietly rotating this in. Not because it's trendy, but because it just works. You wanted the number 1 9mm Luger pistol in your corner for 2025? This is it. But don't relax just yet. There's still one more pistol we haven't shown, and it's the wild card no one's expecting. There was a guy at the range. Quiet, older, doesn't say much. He got this beat up Glock 43. No Cerakote, no red dot, no nothing. Just duct tape on the grip and a single spare mag in his cargo pocket. Every time he loads up, some newer guy snickers. That's it? No comp, no light, no mod? Then the bell rings and that old timer clears the drill faster, cleaner, and smoother than any one of them. Every shot dead center. No flair, no excuses, just quiet, ruthless efficiency. See, that's the thing about the Glock 43. It doesn't need to flex, it doesn't need to look aggressive, it's the one that disappears under a flannel and reappears when your life depends on it. No one brags about carrying it, but the ones who do, they sleep better at night. And if that sounds boring to you, you've never been in a moment where boring meant you came home alive. But this isn't the only ghost on the list. There's one more, technically not a main pick, but if you skip it, you'll regret it. Let's talk bonus. Imagine a 9mm Luger pistol showing up in 2025 and saying, "I've been here all along." That's the Savage Stance XR. When it launched, most folks said Savage should stick to rifles, but the Stance XR silently proved them wrong. Early buyer reports showed Micro 9 buyers opting for it just after release, and its listing repeatedly describes it as a 9mm Luger carry pistol built for modern needs. It's not marketed with fireworks, it doesn't beg for attention, it simply fills a gap. A slim 9mm Luger you stash without thinking, carry without shame, draw without doubt. I heard from an instructor who bought one for a backup, said that when he pulled his full size out during advanced drills, the Stance XR finished faster. Doesn't matter if that story's slightly exaggerated. What matters is the truth behind it. A pistol getting serious review buzz in 2025 while still showing up under the radar. If you're building your buyer's guide list and still skipping this one because it's newer brand or micro carry niche, you're missing the point. This is the kind of 9mm Luger pistol people buy after they've thrown every hype gun in the rotation and realized they needed something smarter. Up next, the last wild card, the 9mm Luger gun you're going to regret ignoring. When people say top 9mm Lugers of 2025, they usually mean compact carry tools or trendy optics guns. But the 509 Tactical doesn't play that game, it plays another game entirely. This pistol comes from a company that built it to survive the military's toughest trials, and yeah, it still carries that pedigree. It's been stated as tested with 1 million rounds in the base series. That's not hype, that's serious endurance. And one of the real deals here, because it was designed to handle that kind of punishment, its 9mm Luger performance steps past what most carry guns even dream of. Now, most guys skip past it because it looks big, expensive, or over-engineered. Well, good. More left for the ones who pay attention, because in 2025, people who need a pistol that works when nothing else does are already choosing this one. So if you're building your buyer's guide and still following the loudest brands, maybe it's time to check your rear view, because the next step, it's done. The list ends, your short list begins. So here's the part where most people either pick a pistol or make the same dumb mistake I did years ago, buying what looks cool instead of what actually works. But not you, not anymore. We broke it down. No beauty contests, no specs show off, just 13 pistols that hold their own when you need them to. If you're still undecided, I'd go back to the top 3. They're there for a reason. And don't just trust the store guy or some flashy review online. You've seen what works. Trust that instinct. You're buying more than a gun, you're buying peace of mind. This has been your boy Steve from Guns N' Roses, and we don't recommend guns unless we'd carry them ourselves. Do stay sharp.